Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Scoop. Today, we are doing another 2021 NFL mock draft. We're pumping as many out as we can, really, as kind of the stuff changes, whether that be picks and etc. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. So much draft content. Top 5 positional ranking will continue to come out if you guys are fans of the page. But you guys love these mock drafts, so we're gonna keep pushing out. So if you are new, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,500, so all the help. As well, we are coming out with our big board ranking all 100 prospects, or at least 50, depending. There's 4 of us on the channel, me, Serge, Dylan, and Charlie. We'll all come out with our own personal big board. Then we will combine them and make one The Sports Scoop NFL Draft big board. That will be coming out within the next week. We'll be doing a video, people we like on the big board, people we have really low. So make sure you guys do stay tuned. As well, we'll have graphics up on Instagram. So all the links to all of our other social medias are in the description: Twitter, Instagram, Flick Chat, all that stuff. And as well, podcasts are every Wednesday. So any questions you guys have about this mock, any comments, comment down below, because we will answer them on our podcast, which you can find on all platforms. Without further ado, let's get into the mock draft. So I actually did just start one. So let me quickly just reload the page. I'm sorry about that. I messed up recording. So excuse me there, but and I think it's really interesting now. There really is a lot of things that are kind of going down in terms of selections. But number 1 overall, I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence, just because we know why. They need a quarterback. They need a guy. This guy has all the physical tools and as well all the attributes that a good quarterback has. 6'6". He can move in the pocket. His arm is massive. I think it makes all the sense. 2, Zack Wilson fits what Mike LaFleur is going to be running on that offense, kind of now that more West Coast implemented offense. I think Saleh is going to be a really, really good coach for Zack Wilson. He has a good receiver in Corey Davis, Denzel Mims, who I think will become a lot better with a competent quarterback. No offense, Sam Darnold. I think Zack Wilson makes all the sense here. Now at the 49ers, I'm going to shake it up and I'm going to have them take Trey Lance. Here's the thing, and this is not what I think will happen. And maybe not even what I want to happen. And I do. For me, I think Lance has the highest ceiling in this class. He probably has the biggest arm. Arguably, besides, I mean, all the quarterbacks have very good arms. I would say in terms of arm talent, he might be the best. I know that might be controversial because obviously Trevor Lawrence, all the top 4 do. Even Mac Jones can be put. No, never mind. But again, I mean, the question here is, I don't see, and let us know what you guys think down below. I cannot understand why the Niners would trade up to 3 and get Mac Jones. I have him ranked very low. I'll tell you, I have him ranked in the 80s on my big board. I don't think that makes sense. Trey Lance is high. I believe he's 8 or 9. I think he makes all the sense. I know Fields I might have higher, but for the sake of the mock, I think Lance could pay off a lot better than Fields. But again, no hate to Justin Fields. Here's where I think the Falcons will trade down. I think the Broncos will die to trade up. Will be dying to trade up. That sounded bad. Will be dying to trade up here because I would assume Trey Lance will be to fall. That's one of my trades that I would predict to happen. Again, we cannot do trades, so I'm just going to mock them Justin Fields. And again, that might not, taking a quarterback might not even be out of the question, or out of the question for the Falcons. Who knows? I mean, maybe it's Penei Sewell. We'll see. But I do like what Justin Fields bring. I think he has really good tools. I do think he reminds me of Deshaun Watson in terms of how dynamic he can be on the football field. And I think still, I've been saying it all along. I think Arthur Smith's an offensive coach. Matt Ryan hasn't had one, so I don't think a quarterback makes sense. But if you're looking at this year, the Falcons aren't good, and they're going for quarterback next year. The draft class for quarterbacks, at least from what we have seen now, is not very good. So maybe get ahead of the curve and go get Justin Fields here. But now the Bengals, and I've seen all the rumors that it's going to be Jamar Chase. I don't get that. And I know a lot of people say, well, yeah, give him weapons. You need to protect your quarterback, and Penei Sewell is arguably one of the best offensive linemen we've ever seen. This kid is 19 right now, or he just turned 20. He'll be playing his first snap at 20. You're getting almost 15 years, assuming he can stay healthy, of a Pro Bowl level offensive tackle. This guy, mark my words, if his career plans out, could be the best offensive lineman we have ever seen. And I know it's a hot take, but this guy is incredible. He is so fast. He's incredible at the second level, absolutely mauls people. And as an offensive lineman, whenever he loses in a pass rush, which is more against like power, finesse rushers, he's able to recover and not let up sacks, which is just incredible. His penalty numbers aren't high. This guy is an all-rounded offensive lineman, and I think you cannot pass up on him if you're the Bengals, especially if you're to even fall here, because who knows? I mean, maybe the Falcons go take him at 4. Now it is the Dolphins, that recent trade where they traded down to 12, then they traded with the Eagles to get back up to 6, doing a lot of good business. I think here that's where Jamar Chase would go. I just think Jamar Chase makes all the sense, to be honest with you. I think this guy's incredible. Someone we thought was looking like a 4.5 type guy in his 40 time. I think it was sub 4.3. If we just look it up here, like his 40 time was incredible at his pro day. Yeah, 4.3. I mean, that's crazy. That's, I believe, as fast as Jalen Waddle. I'm sure because if you look at Jalen Waddle's 40 time, which, if we, not Jalen, Jalen Waddle, he was, I believe, ran a 4.3 the last time I checked. But the high 4.2. Okay, so no, maybe not. I don't know. That's at least what I saw. But I thought I was going to say Jalen Waddle is running a lot faster, but that's very good for Chase. Is considering people were looking like he was probably running a 4.5. Again, is that true? Because it is hard to bring your 40 time numbers, but he's basically been training since like the college season started, because he opted out. So he's basically been training for the draft for this whole year. So does that mean that he got his 40 time by 0.2 seconds? I believe it, but I mean, the proof's there. Now with the Lions pick, they need many things, to say the least. Wide receivers in need, and I think here it'll be Devontae Smith. And I know a lot of people are saying Jalen Waddle. I have him as my 4th ranked receiver. And no hate to Jalen Waddle. I still think he's a great receiver, but it's just injury problems. What he has now is definitely a bit of a concern. Devontae Smith as well. His frame isn't huge, but I think this guy has some of the best footwork. That Antonio Brown comparison, Devontae Adams, he doesn't break off the line with his hands. He uses his feet to be shifty and shake off the corner. This guy's some of the best route running I've ever seen, and he had stupid numbers this year. Had the most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in college football, which is incredible. Devontae Smith, I think people are sleeping on because of his size, and even I am, I'll admit, but I still think he's a great receiver. Now moving on to the Panthers pick. I think, again, this could be, I'm not going to say now it won't be, but if a quarterback were to fall, I think this could be a very, very likely situation where look at maybe the Broncos or the, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Even maybe the Patriots or the Raiders, or a team that maybe wants to go get a quarterback. Then they'll trade up with the Panthers to get if Fields or Lance were to fall. Obviously, they haven't here. And I'm going to have them take Kyle Pitts out of Florida. Again, I have him ranked as my 2nd best player in this draft class. This guy is so talented and the best tight end prospect we've seen in the past like 15, 20 years. This guy is 6'6" and plays like a receiver. Ran a 4.4, I believe, 40 timer or somewhere around that, which is crazy for someone of his size. He is a absolute mismatch. You cannot guard him. He's too fast for linebackers and too big for corners, although corners are getting a bit bigger. I mean, no one's guarding a 6'6" guy who's running a 4.4. That's literally a hack. And I don't know. I know that's not a very witty word, but that, you know what I mean. But when I say that, all right, looking now at the Broncos pick, Rashaan Slater's here. Patrick Surtain is here. They need quarterback. Obviously, I don't like Mac Jones. I don't think they should go Mac Jones. So this is a tough one, but I think if Surtain falls, I think it makes sense. And I know, and I did this in the last draft, I know, like, oh, they have Kyle Fuller. They have, they had their cornerback room is rounded. I mean, again, we don't know if Kyle Fuller will plan out, but I think, and I know it's a controversial one, but I think Surtain just has so much talent and really one of the best corners we've seen since Jalen Ramsey. So again, I know, I believe in our last mock, I did the same thing after Fuller went to the Broncos, and people were like, why would you have them take? And I know maybe that's not the best pick. Maybe Parsons is a better pick, but I still think Patrick Surtain has all the attributes to be a future corner there. Now looking at the Cowboys pick, this one I would love to see them go. I wouldn't actually, because I'm a Giants fan, but I think J.C. Horn arguably is the cornerback 1. I don't have him as my cornerback 2, but this guy is incredibly talented, has that kind of Aqib Talib, just like mean and like Jalen Ramsey mean, and just that ability, and a guy who doesn't have as many penalties as you would think from a press corner, who is aggressive. So what really impresses me is if this guy can play press cover 3 and really not as much in his own zone scheme, which I don't believe the Cowboys run much of on defense. I will have to check that. So, don't take my word on it, but JC Horn is just a phenomenal cornerback. And this guy was in the 99.9 percentile for on his pro day, ran a 4.39. I don't know what his vertical or cone drills were, but this guy was really, really good. A 6'1", 205. This guy has all the size to be a good corner. Moving on to the Giants pick. This one I'm not going to think about much. If Rashaan Slater falls, I think we must take him. This guy's adjustable throughout our offensive line. That I wouldn't say is struggling, but could use an adjustable guy like him who can play all 5 positions. And again, if I know 2 tackles in the first round in our last 2 years, but I think Rashaan Slater would be if Penei Sewell was here, he would be right up there as the best tackle in this class. I have as my second best tackle. And again, is he really even a tackle? I think at the next level, a guard would probably be better for him since he's, I believe, 6'3", 6'4". But this guy would lock down Chase, not lock down, but he was held his own against Chase Young, which no one has in the league or in college last year. Obviously, he opted out this year, so we haven't seen him. But massive fan of Slater. Now moving on to the Eagles pick. This is, I think, Jalen Waddle would make all the sense here. I mean, you get an explosive playmaker for Jalen Hurts, who I believe in, and I know I'm a Giants fan, but I really do believe in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Waddle is a guy who can blaze every single corner in the league and was going to put up stupid numbers if he didn't get injured last year. So I love him here to the Eagles. Next pick, I think this pick makes most sense. And I'm going to go, if you guys saw our podcast with the Boomer Buster Draft Show, PJ Clark and Charlie Neidell both love Elijah Vera Tucker. I think this would be a great pick. I know maybe Darisaw, but Elijah Vera Tucker is someone who can play tackle and inside just like Rashaan Slater. I have him as my inside offensive lineman number 1 if he does go and play that in the league. But I think you protect Justin Herbert, and this guy's a very, very good, powerful pass blocker. Moving on now to the Vikings pick. Says safeties in need, which it is. Maybe they trade down, get Mohrig. I mean, a lot of people have Mohrig as their 15th ranked prospect. So would this be a reach to take him at 14? I would think so, but we'll have to see. I think what would make the most sense here would be Kwity Paye out of Michigan. I really just like his size and kind of how he would fit in that defense. I know he can play outside. So if they play 3-4, he can play as that outside linebacker, or if they play 4-3, he can play besides Tomlinson and be that, finesse or power pass rusher. This guy gets a ton of sacks and is really, really good in the run game. Very big fan of Kwity Paye. Now in the Patriots, and I'm going to annoy some people, I'm going to go Mac Jones. Do I agree with the pick? No. I don't like Mac Jones at all. I have a second, maybe even third round grade. I think a lot of people do, but the Patriots need a quarterback. Well, they do. I don't know. They do. They didn't get Garoppolo. They haven't gotten Deshaun Watson. They didn't get Darnold. They didn't get Fitzpatrick. They didn't get any of the quarterbacks that were on the market. Mac Jones fits that system. Basically, the only good thing left for the Patriots, at least not as much anymore, but is kind of that quarterback position. Mac Jones, I just don't like him that much. He isn't that mobile. Doesn't have the best arm talent. When someone who isn't mobile, he doesn't have the best arm talent, probably the 5th or 6th. And he's not a guy that you would see sitting for a year. I feel like he is pro ready, which is a good thing. But no, I'm not a massive fan of Mac Jones, and I hope he proves me wrong. I never will want a prospect to play bad, but I would definitely shy away from him. Moving now on to the Cardinals pick. I think what would make a ton of sense here is, where is he? I know he's fallen a lot, but I think Caleb Farley would make sense. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, injuries, and even I am, because I have him as my cornerback 4 actually now, behind Newsom, Horn, and I know that. So like, why are you not taking Newsom? I think the fit here is better because they need really a do-it-all corner. I think Newsom's kind of a good guy that would maybe go to the Bears and be that second guy. Although I think, maybe he can be, but Farley's 6'2" and is the most athletic corner in this draft class. Was a tweet per Adam Schefter, ran a 4.28 40, which is I think the fastest we ever seen by a corner. And it, again, game time speed and 40 time. And I've been saying this 40 times a bit overrated because he's not going to be running that as a corner. You're mostly backpedaling and then you're turning on the brake. But Caleb Farley, I do like, and I think he fits there. You need a Patrick Peterson replacement. Now on the Raiders pick, they need tackle, and I think it would make the most sense. Darisaw falls, go take him. This guy's really, really powerful and a huge guy to protect Derek Carr. Makes all the sense. Dolphins need edge. Jalen Phillips, keep him in Miami, man. This guy is my edge 1. Surge is edge 1. This guy is very, very good in the run game, and I know this defensive or the edge class is really not that good because, usually you see the Myles Garrett, the Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, all those dominant pass rushers that are easy top 5, top 3 picks. Really, this year there isn't one, but I think Jalen Phillips could actually be one of the most dominant pass rushers if developed right. Put him with Flores, who is one of the best coach, if not the best coach in the NFL. I think Jalen Phillips makes all the sense there. Now, Washington, I would slam this. I would run this to the board. I would absolutely just love to see them get Rashad Bateman. And I know they got Curtis Samuel, but I think this guy is just such a talented receiver, and really, and as much as all positions or skill positions are kind of becoming positions by committee, running back committees, now wide receiver committees. If you have three really good receivers, and I know I hate it because I'm a Giants fan. I wouldn't even mad at the Giants took Bateman at 11. I have him ranked as my around, I think, 13th player in the draft, my wide receiver 3. This guy is incredible. Really just nothing wrong with him. He doesn't really have many things that he can't do well. I love Bateman here at 19 to Washington. Now the Bears, and I just saw this, I believe, but I'm going to go Greg Newsom out of Northwestern, someone who I've started to like a lot more, just because of the traits he has. Good in press coverage, a ball hog, and has the ideal size, I believe at 6'1" or 6, around there. And I think this guy would make the most sense. Obviously, you lost Kyle Fuller. I think that Johnson can do the job. Don't get me wrong, but I think Greg Newsom, get 2 good corners, keep that Chicago defense good. All right, moving on to the Colts pick. Not recently, they have Carson Wentz now. Line is a need, and I think Tevin Jenkins would be a really good pick. This guy's just a mean dude. Finishes his blocks with just, kind of that push you to the ground type plays. This guy's a monster. I really like Tevin Jenkins. I believe I have him as my offensive tackle 4 or 3. No, 4. This guy is really good, and I think this pick would be a great pick if you're Indianapolis, because your offensive line would immediately be the best in the league, and it already probably is, and you need that Constanzo replacement. All right, now the Titans pick corners in need, and I think they would have loved to see Farley fall. He didn't. Wide receiver as well as a need, offensive line, and this is a tough pick, but I'm not sure. This definitely is, because it's kind of an awkward spot because all of the decent receivers are off. But I would love to see him go Terrace Marshall. I mean, this guy is 6'3" and is really, really good in the air. You lost Corey Davis. Go get A.J. Brown, another weapon on the other side of him. Get Tannehill more weapons. I think it would make a lot of sense. All right, moving on to the Jets pick. They need corners well. And I think Asante Samuel would be a decent pick, but I don't think that he's worth a first round. I think if they get him in the second round would make more sense. And Parsons is here, Karamoa is here, Edge is here, and I'm going to have them go Azeez Ojulari if he falls. This would be an awkward position for the Jets, because I know Parsons and Karamoa are here, and I know I'm hesitant to take them, which I can't actually really tell you why. But Ojulari really possesses everything an edge rusher needs. Very, very good at getting to the quarterback out of Georgia. I think the Jets need that, and he'll go fit in well, especially with we've seen what Saleh can do with defensive linemen. Now the Steelers pick corners in need, offensive tackles in need, inside offensive lines in need. And I think this is a tough one. This definitely is a tough one. I'm not sure. This would tough, but I'm actually going to have him go Micah Parsons, because why not? I think Micah Parsons is athletically incredible. It's someone who is getting a bit underrated due to off-field problems, but if you could find him here at 24 without trading up, that would be a steal for the Steelers, no pun intended. And he would just fit into that defense so well, and just make that, continue that defensive dominance over in Pittsburgh. Jaguars pick. They need offensive tackle, receiver. This one is a tougher one, but because I know you need to protect Trevor Lawrence. So I think the pick here would be Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama, someone who, as well, I'm glad to see is rising up draft boards. I really do like him. There's not much to dislike. A big, long arm dude, and I think you need to protect Trevor Lawrence. So go get him, Leatherwood. Obviously, there's questions on that Jaguars offensive line, and he will shore that up as much as he can. Now the Browns pick, I think they'll run to the podium with this one. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is really, really good in coverage, a very, very good tackler. Makes the most sense out of Notre Dame, a huge guy. I mean, what's his size? He's 6'2". This guy might not be the tallest, but 6'2" so tall, but this guy's built. You go plug him into this Browns team, which really is starting to starting to pick up. They just got Clowney. I mean, if you added Karamoh to that defense would really be scary. You have John Johnson, you have Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. I mean, that automatically becomes one of the best defenses and really can compare to Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Speaking of that, Baltimore now are on the clock. Safety is a need, and why not? This is a tough one, but I think if Trayvon Mohrig, falls here, go take the best safety in this class. Really, really good ball skills, ideal size for a safety, and I think that he would fit in there at that Baltimore defense really well. You have Patrick Queen there. I think that makes the most sense to bolster that defense that has lost some pieces in the offseason. Now the Saints pick. This one, I do think Elijah Moore would make a lot of sense. And I know he's the first kind of slot guy off the board, but Rondale Moore and Tony. But I really like Elijah Moore. I like his speed a lot, and I think his kind of just elusiveness on the field. And maybe Rondale Moore would be more of a value pick, but I think Elijah Moore really proves a big upside kind of in that slot. In New Orleans, and you need to kind of get a second guy to Michael Thomas with Sanders leaving in the offseason to Buffalo. Makes the most sense. Now the Packers pick. This pick I would and I'm just an NFL fan. I like seeing good picks. I would sprint around my house if this were to happen. Get Rondale Moore, man. I mean, this guy is explosive. Ran a 4.28. This guy ripped it up against Ohio State when he was at Purdue. He is such an electric playmaker and can gash defenses downfield. I have him as my 5th ranked receiver. This guy is really good, and I think he's easily worth the 29th pick. You go Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore. I think that makes the most sense. Go get Aaron Rodgers some weapons, who really has been questioning his future with the Packers, and go get Devontae Adams, another weapon. That offense would be high flying indeed. Now Buffalo on the clock. I'm going to continue to mock this. Travis Etienne out of Clemson. They need a dual threat back and someone to get points besides Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. They have a good offensive line. Travis Etienne can catch the ball and run the ball 3 down back. We actually did our top 5 running back video. That will hopefully be coming sometime after this mock, maybe a day or two after. Etienne makes the most sense if you are the Bills. A bit of a risky pick, but what is the NFL draft without taking some risks? Now the Kansas City offensive tackle. They need a couple of things. This one I think would be and I would actually love this. John Davis out of Kentucky. My favorite linebacker, not my linebacker 1. I think my linebacker 3. But I really think this guy could be the best linebacker. Really plays the position with such a hunger and such a swagger. Good, great tackler, good in coverage out of Kentucky. Someone who shot up draft boards. I really like what John Davis could bring to the Chiefs linebacking core that really doesn't have much. Now the Super Bowl winners pick. Another one, Christian Barmore out of Alabama. This guy is my defensive tackle 1, and then I think there's such a massive drop-off. He's just so good at getting through the guards or centers and getting to the quarterback. Really, really good guy blocking up run holes, can play a 3-4, 4-3, whatever Tampa Bay wants to do, and I think that defensive line would be scary if they were to plug him in there. But it'll do it for our mock draft. If you somehow made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to subscribe, follow our social medias. Make sure to stay tuned for our big board video, as well as our top 5 running backs video, and more content to come soon. Draft is coming up. You don't want to miss. We are your number 1 source for NFL draft content and regular season content. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.